How we doing, men on the mountain peeps? I got some good news and I got some bad news. The good news is I did get an over-the-counter bull elk tag for an any bull unit in Utah. Excited about that. I got it Thursday. Bad news is my daughter had a volleyball tournament this morning and I wanted to be there to support her. I'm out hanging some trail cams in the unit that I'm planning to hunt elk. It's 4:40 in the afternoon. It's the peak of the heat. It's 96, so it is hot. So I'm trying to get in here pretty quick. I'm not gonna goof around a whole lot. I'm gonna get in here and get these cameras hung, get some salt spread out, and then get back out. Hopefully get out before dark. Obviously I always kind of keep my eyes open for a shed when I'm hiking, but that's really not the point of the hike today. So if we see anything cool, we'll get it on camera. Otherwise, I'll probably just film a little bit while I'm putting those cameras up and dropping the salt. Thanks for coming along, guys. All right, guys, so I made it to the top of the first ridge, and it's all pull. It is all uphill from the road to here. So I've got really two goals. One, I want to get both these trail cams up. I'm going to hang two. I'll flip this around. So that timbered north slope over there and the pines on the left of that, I had a camera there 2 years ago that I got quite a few pictures of bulls on. In fact, I'll put a card to that video if you guys want to go back and watch that if you're newer to the channel. So that's the first thing I want to do, is get those cameras hung. The second thing I want to do is find a place to camp so that if I do have elk on those trail cams, I can come in here the night before the season opens and sleep. I'll already be up in here. So a couple of weeks before the season starts, I'll come back out here and check these cameras. I'll bring my tent and stuff with me, and if I've got elk on the cameras within 2 to 3 weeks of when I check the camera, I'm sure I'll get some elk on here, but just because there's elk here in July doesn't mean there'll be elk here in October when the season opens. But if I've got pictures of elk in September, then this is where I'm going to hunt when the season opens. And it's about 1.5 miles from the truck to where I am right now. So I'll hike in the night before, sleep in the tent, which I'll have already put up here. I'll bring some water up here and stash it too. And that way I can hunt a couple days up here without having to go back for anything. So that's the plan for today. Let's see if we can get it done. Okay guys, got the first camera hung. I haven't turned it on yet, and I still got to lay the salt down. I goofed around on the top for a while trying to find a place for camp, and honestly I didn't find a good spot. And getting the camera hung is more important than finding a tent spot for today. So drop down. I don't know if you can see this. This is a pretty major game trail that runs through the bottom between these two ridges. A lot of sign up on the south side, but it was old. There's that game trail going down through the bottom, which is to be expected. When it was cooler temperatures earlier in the spring, I'm sure they were hanging out on the south facing ridge. Now they're probably in the dark timber on the north side. So anyway, I'm gonna get my salt spread. There's a camera, and then we're gonna get to the second spot where I'm gonna put that other camera. All right, so we got the salt laid out, and then I just marked this location. I set a waypoint on my onX, so I can come back in here and find this thing in the future. So we'll start gaining ground again. So I came over the ridge, dropped all the way down. I'm down in the bottom now. I'm gonna go up a little bit on the north side of the next ridge, set the second cam, and then start hiking out. Okay guys, we got them both hung. See, I put this salt down by a big pile of elk poop. So they've definitely been up here. I put this one up here on the top of the ridge, kind of in these mahoganies and cedars. And so I would love it if we get some pics on that one, because that means they're actually on this ridge and not all in the dark timber down on that north side. But I'm not going to hold my breath that we get much on this camera, but hey, if we do, that'd be awesome. Still haven't found a place to put a tent yet. I'll try and look on the way out. Sun's dropping, and I don't want to try and get out of here in the dark. I mean, it's not a big deal if I do. I've been on this ridge several times, but see if we can get to the truck before the sun goes down all the way. All right, guys, I'm back on the 2-track. I am, I don't know, between 1/8 of a mile and 1/4 of a mile to the truck. There's a guy on a side-by-side up above me on the other road, so that's what's in the background. That four-wheeler back down there, I don't know if you can see it, probably belongs, there's a guy that's got a tent way up at the top, up in the saddle, in one of the places I was thinking about putting a tent. I mean, not today, but when the season comes around. So that's probably him. I don't know if I'll do another video, or I don't know if I'll combine this with another recording, because I didn't record much. I'll just see when I edit it how much is on there. So I want to do the shout out, channel shout out, and also the Men on the Mountain. Channel I want to shout out is Find in Nature. Now, I am normally not a mushroom guy. Looking at mushrooms typically would bore me, but for some reason I just love his videos. He does a lot of mushroom hunting. He's got some insects and stuff in some of his too. He's just got a really good eye for detail. So check him out when you get some time. Find in Nature. Other thing I want to do is Men on the Mountain. We'll do that next after this guy gets his side-by-side out of the way. All right, that side-by-side's gone, guys. So we'll do the Men on the Mountain. It's Revelation chapter 1. We just started a 7-week series at church in the book of Revelation. And the overall theme of that series is that the book of Revelation is all about Jesus. In fact, it starts out, chapter 1, verse 1 says, this is a revelation from Jesus Christ. Or some translations say a revelation of Jesus Christ. It's all about him. There's a lot of other stuff in the book, obviously, a lot of stuff that talks about, you know, end times, for the persecutions first century Christians faced as well. There's 4 different lenses that people typically use, one of those 4 to understand Revelation. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. The thing I want to talk about, number 1, it's all about Jesus. Number 2, I think a lot of us need to expand our vision of Jesus. So John has this vision in chapter 1 where he sees Jesus. It says his hair is white as wool, as white as snow. His eyes are like fire. His feet are like refined brass. Out of his mouth comes a 2-edged sword. His face shines like the sun in all its brilliance. Keep in mind, John spent over 3 years with Jesus when Jesus was on earth. He walked with him, he talked with him, he ate with him, he laughed with him, probably wept with him. But when John turns around and sees this vision of Jesus in all his glory, the glory that he shared with the Father before the world began, he's undone. He falls at his feet as if he were dead. That's what the Bible says. So if the only Jesus you can picture is the humble carpenter's son, you need to expand your image of Jesus, your view of Jesus. That's part of Jesus, but that's only because Jesus voluntarily gave up the glory that he shared with God the Father and God the Spirit before the world began. And when Jesus comes back, he's not coming back as the humble carpenter's son. He's coming back as the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords in all his majesty and all his glory. As believers, that's something we can look forward to. So that's Men on the Mountain today, Revelation chapter 1. If you have some time this week, read through chapter 1. Would love to hear what you think. Feel free to shoot me a comment. Again, I don't know if I'll add to this to publish this video, guys. I didn't record a lot, so I may add to it. I don't know. We'll see when we edit it. But we got both the cameras hung. I'm going to let them sit there until at least end of August, early September. There's no sense coming back and checking before then. And then we'll come back, see what we got, and then that'll help us determine where we're going to hunt. So thanks for coming along, guys. Appreciate all your support. Have a good week.